Hi guys, it's Dayo here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sketch a portrait on Photoshop. First thing you're going to be doing is click on create new, then you go to art and illustration, then you select on 1080p. After selecting on 1080p, you can choose to rename your project and turn it to maybe let's say portrait study. Then after renaming your project as portrait study, then you can click on create. So after you've clicked on create, it's going to show you an empty canvas. So this empty canvas is where you're actually going to draw. But before then, we will be changing the canvas um into a gray color so as to protect our eyes, because the white canvas affects the eyes a lot. So but before changing the canvas, you can as well import your reference to the canvas. You can just simply take the reference and drag it to the canvas. It will automatically import the reference for you. Then you can change the canvas, use a fill color to fill to just tap on the canvas to alter the white background with the gray background. After you're done with that, you can add a new layer. Then we can start up with the first method, which is the guideline, using of guidelines to draw. So I'm going to be showing you two methods on this in this tutorial. So I'm going to be showing you two methods of drawing or sketching in Adobe Photoshop. So make sure you have created a new layer, then make sure you've increased the smoothing to um 20%. Then you can use your pencil to draw your lines. Make sure you place your reference side by side with your canvas. And also I'm using a hard round pressure size brush for this particular sketching, so you can as well get a round brush for it, just for your hard round pressure size brush for it. So I'm trying to outline, and using a straight line, I'm trying to outline the proportions of the face, where the nose, where the mouth, and where the eyes and the eyebrows are placed. So make sure you draw a long line um, that will reach to the other side, so as to use it as a guide for your sketching. So I'm going to be starting off with the nose area. So I've changed the color of my sketching pen or pencil to a black color. So I'm just trying to represent the proportions of the face. I'm just looking at the lines. I'm trying hard to place them where necessary. So it's I've done a tutorial on how to actually understand how to place items using guidelines. So this is actually a great method, is very nice method that can help you um, improve your observation skill, and replicate how to replicate objects, and um, how to draw objects or people using guidelines. So I'm actually just checking the guidelines and seeing where the lines meet and where the curve and all those things. So just keep in mind the distance. But for now, I'm just trying to see how I can just replicate the proportion and see how I can just draw a rough sketch that for like just to start off something, so as um, just something loose, not really serious. I'm just starting out loose just to get a foundation of what I actually want to achieve before I can start refining. So it's actually advisable that you start off very loose and not too detailed. So And I'm using a liquify tool to push the sketch to um to the right proportion. So just make sure you keep it side by side so as to get the right proportion of the main character, main subject. So yeah, liquify tool helps you to get the sketch push the sketch to the right proportion. It's more faster than cleaning and refining using your pencil. Keep in mind that you'd have to create a different layer for your guidelines and a different layer for your sketching lines. So yes, just in case you are a bit bothered about the layers, the layer at the top, the first layer at the top is for the line art, then the second layer is for the guidelines. You can also lock the guidelines layer for you not to tamper with the layers, so as for you to just only work on your sketching layer. So we are done with our sketch. You can go further to refine the sketch to get a perfect proportion of the sketch and everything. If you want to make it more realistic, you can do that, but we are already I'm presently satisfied with this particular sketch, unless I want to push it further to do a refined sketch. So now we are done with the first method. The second method is the use of Loomis method. Well, I'm not going to do it exactly like Loomis does his, because Loomis method is somehow complicated, it's more complex compared to this. So I'm going to be simplifying this particular method for you to understand how to actually replicate this method and actually achieve what I'm trying to show you. So you first start off with a line crossing along the nose to the mouth to the jaw. So you're also going to cross another line at the forehead, signifying the presence of the eyebrow, and also you're going to create a right angle triangle using a right angle triangle around the nose, and also a line beneath the jaw. So just make sure you create a new layer using just a plus sign. Just press on the plus sign to create a new layer. Then after you press on the plus sign, then you make sure you change your color, the color of your brush, to a red color, so as for you to analyze these shapes on the reference first. After analyzing it on the reference, then you can actually replicate it by the side. So make sure your reference is placed side by side. Then make sure you add a new layer for your own version of those shapes. So you are going to actually represent these lines and shapes by the side. So make sure your canvas is very big enough to contain both your sketch and your reference at the same time. So make sure you also zoom the canvas closer. Don't take your canvas far, don't zoom it out. Make sure you zoom in to have a clearer picture and a closer picture of the reference. So as you can see, I'm replicating those shapes I've laid down on my sketch by the side, so as to get the right proportions of the facial features. So yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to compare using my eyes, and I'm trying to compare the placement of those facial features. By the neck, you can see how I have drawn a straight line, just to signify that there's an Adam apple around that side. And also I'm trying to replicate, I'm trying to also please an angle or something like a trapezium by the eye side, by the eye socket. And also I'm placing some lines just to show you the shapes by the cheek, and also the values the separation, the gradient separation of the values, where there is hard shadows and the soft shadows. I'm also going to do a painting tutorial regards to how you can paint using grayscale on Photoshop. So as you can see, I'm also replicating the same thing by the side on our sketch using the red pen. So make sure you do exactly what I'm doing. So many of you guys watch my tutorial but don't actually repeat the same procedure I do. That's why you guys don't have the same result. So it's very much recommended that you calm down and watch through this tutorial, and I am very sure you will learn a lot from this kind of technique. So make sure you just carefully represent those angles, those shapes, those proportions by the side. And also, I won't advise you to draw those lines, those lanes, or those guidelines on your reference before starting your own by the side. You can still be drawing those red lines on your reference and also drawing yours by the side, just to like have a balance and also not get confused. It's going to help you to get the right placement of those facial features. So now I'm just trying to see how I can keep two versions of my work by the side so as to have a bigger picture of what I'm drawing. But it still didn't like go well. It looks like more distraction, so I am going to turn this off and just use the normal only one. I'm just going to use only one windows. I wanted to like get this one by the side, then the other one, my sketch by the side, but since my reference is on already on one canvas with the sketch, there's no need of that. So I'm going to continue with my sketch by the side using the same canvas and everything, using the same layer. So yes, I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing. I'm just going to draw the line on the shoulder, then just represent the shape by the shoulder, then use that same representing lines to also represent it by the side of it on my sketch. So yeah, it's actually a nice technique for you to get a balance on your sketch and also get the right proportion. As you can see, when I draw the guideline, my guideline on my reference, I still go to the side to draw a guideline on my empty canvas by the side. So just make sure you keep doing what you do on the reference, then you replicate. Just make sure you replicate and make sure everything is side by side so as to see your mistake easily. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, don't be afraid to clean. This is digital art, it's not traditional art. You can use your eraser to just clean and repeat the same step. You don't need to tear any paper and throw or start from the beginning. You can just use your eraser and clean up, then start where you stopped. So yeah, I'm actually going to represent another line by the neck. At the back of the Adam's apple, there is a line there. So that's what I'm trying to replicate over there. So this is just practically the technique. Just make sure you watch through this particular method. It's going to help you a lot. So yes, just stick around.
Don't tell me you still aren't subscribed to this channel. Aren't you enjoying the content? I've noticed that 70.1% of my viewers aren't subscribed to this channel. Please do well to subscribe to this channel. Please do well to subscribe to this channel. I'm begging on my knees already. So yeah, thank you.
So yes, you just keep on replicating those lines by the side. So I'm trying to like draw the mouth. So just in case you want to still put a guidelines just to guide you through the sketching of the mouth, you can still do that. So just to understand the proportion and the position of the lip. So make sure the upper lip is more pointed forward compared to the lower lip. So the upper lip should be bigger than the lower lip, should be pointed forward more than the lower lip. the lower lid should be backwards, then the cheek, then the cheek also as well. And yeah, just make sure you just check those things. And the Adam's apple, so you can represent the Adam's apple. Make sure you just represent a curve around that neck, just to represent the Adam's apple. You can still refine your sketch. Don't struggle to make a clean line. You are just trying to establish the foundation of the sketch and everything. Just make sure you lay down the um, location, the proportion of the lines and everything. Just make sure you lay down the foundation of everything before you refine them. Yes, so I'm just trying to check the layers and check um, whether I'm still on the right layer. So I've already merged the layer, put the guideline layer of the reference and also that of my sketch to one layer, just to reduce the confusion. You can also merge your own to one layer. Then I'm using an eraser to like reduce the intensity of the red color, so just so as not to get distracted by the red line. So you can either reduce opacity, or you can use your eraser to reduce the intensity of the opacity. So yes, I'm doing the Adam's apple. Just make sure you do the same thing I've been doing throughout. Just make sure you don't skip. Just go through the video till the end. You are definitely going to get results. And also, you can download this particular reference in the description box, the description section. So you can also get this reference in Pinterest. So just in case you're interested in following along, you can watch this video and follow along the tutorial. Make sure you don't skip any part, and make sure you listen attentive to whatever instruction I'm giving. So I think when you follow this tutorial gradually, bit by bit, you're going to actually achieve what I've done on this particular technique. So we are done with the first lane using the red color. We are going to proceed with the second lane, which includes the facial features, and also like just let's just dive into the second lane. It mustn't be necessarily using a different color, but I'm definitely going to use a different color for this. So I've selected a blue color, then I'm trying to draw a lane or a guideline or a shape, a lane shape on the eye. So I'm still going to replicate the same shape on the eye. So it should lie in between those trapezium that we've laid down using the red color. So make sure you replicate the same shape. So then you also replicate a shape for the eyebrows. So I'm still replicating the shape using a different color, using the blue color, or let's say the purple. It's looking like blue, it's looking like purple, I don't know, I should call it blue. Then you can actually add a new layer to do this particular lane, but it's not actually compulsory. You can just lay everything down on one layer. After you're satisfied, you can reduce opacity, then draw over it. So I'm trying to just sketch the eyebrow. So I'm still checking the reference and analyzing the reference, indicating those shapes, like the one at the corner of the eye I'm also just practically going to just shade it to indicate that there is a shadow over there. There's a cast shadow um, over there, and also indicating the eyebrow. So I'm practically going to trace over and also draw the facial features, draw the edge lines and on the nose. I'm going to just draw those facial features using the blue color. So just stick around and see how I will draw the facial features using this blue line, and also using the guide I've already laid down using the red color. So those red color are the guidelines. Those red colors will guide you through your sketch to actually see whether you're missing, you're off track, or you're still on the line, you're still along the line, getting the same proportion and position of the facial features. Just make sure you check the red color, keep in mind the red color and the position of those facial features, the relationship between those red colors and the distances between those facial features. Just make sure you keep it in mind while you are replicating, while you're drawing by the side. So I'm just practically going to draw everything using my blue color. Then when I'm done, I can reduce opacity, then I do a refined sketch. So guys, we are gradually progressing. We are getting the sketch turning out really good. So you can use your blue color to also indicate a line, a guideline at the forehead, and also a line for the carving of the hair and the hairline and all those things. So you can just practically do the same thing we've been doing since. So it's going to help you a lot. So just make sure you stick to the same thing I've been doing throughout the beginning of this method. So just make sure you keep doing the same thing, and also don't be fast, don't be too in a hurry. Just calm down and follow along. Just calm down and follow. You can feel free to pause the video and check how I represent those shapes by the side. Just make sure you calm down and replicate the same process. So yeah, you can have freedom to change whatever you want to change, but I would advise you to actually get the exact reference so that you can pinpoint the mistakes you've made. But when you're trying to freestyle, or you're trying to add something to the reference in which is not there, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually pinpoint whether you've made mistakes or not. So yeah, if you have any question, make sure you drop it in the comment section. I'm not yet done with this particular tutorial. I'm going to show you how to actually achieve the refined line art after you're done with the rough sketch. So and also if you have any tutorial requests that you want to make, you can also drop it in the comment section. And yeah, you can also check my other videos on anatomy, on several topics in which you want to learn. I have done painting tutorials, grayscale painting tutorials, still life painting tutorials. I've done so many things on this particular channel. You can just go through. There are so many, over 100 videos for you to learn from. So I've done tutorials on Procreate. I have brushes on my Gumroad. Just go to my Instagram, click on the link on my bio to get my Gumroad link, and also you can go to my description section on this YouTube to get my Gumroad link and download my free brush pack. So just in case you're interested. So I've actually noticed that there's something off with the sketch by around that ear area. So I'm going to be using the liquify tool to actually correct some area around the back of the head and the ear. So make sure you place your liquify your liquify bar by the side, side by side. Make sure your reference is by the sides to actually see what you are correcting. So this is the fastest way of actually correcting your mistakes. Instead of cleaning it up, you can just push it using the liquify tool and you're done. So yeah, I actually pushed the lines and make it look nice, and also at least match the proportion of the reference. So yeah, you can actually do that. And yeah, I'm trying to just place the laying and place everything down to actually make the line art and the drawing actually look realistic, but not 100% realistic, but actually look like the reference. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with the blue lane. I'm actually going to reduce opacity to start the actual main line art, the actual refined line art. You can further adjust the hair placement and all those facial features that you think are off. You can correct them. Just feel free to enjoy the process and use Liquify tool. It's actually very helpful. It will help you through your art process. It's going to help you achieve faster results. And make sure you place it side by side to your reference. So we are done with our liquify. You reduce the opacity to either 32 or so. Then you can change the color of your brush to black, then add a new layer, then start tracing. Make sure you are using the top layer, that is the layer at the top of your laying, or those blue and red colors. Make sure they are under your sketch, they are under your main sketching layer. So make sure you also turn on your smoothing, just in case you're having difficulty with achieving straight lines. You can turn on your smoothing at the top, that is beside the flow, and also beside opacity. You can also increase your smoothing of your line art. It's going to help a lot. It's going to help you have a steady line art, and also a very straight line art. So make sure you turn on your smoothing, but presently my smoothing is at 0%, because I have trained my hands to see how I can achieve straight lines even without turning it on. But I later now realized that I can also, just to ease the stress of repeating the same line, I can as well just turn on the smoothing to like 15%, just to make the work faster. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you are new to this channel, you know what to do. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you indicate in the comment section that you're a new subscriber. I'm going to welcome you personally. And also don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and follow me on all social media platforms. So yeah, if you have any question, also do well to drop it in the comment section.
Thank you guys for watching. If you need more of my content, you can click here to see more of my content. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.